Hey all, welcome back. In this session, we are going to discuss about the Python data structure, a very important topic. Okay, so let's move on to the first topic. What is data structure? First of all, you have to know or you have to understood what is the concept of data structure. So data structures has a special way of storing and accessing the data. Python has four basic built-in data structure, namely list, dictionary, tuple and set. So whenever you are declaring any data, nowadays you know that data is the important concept around the world. So whenever you are declaring any data, okay, you need to say how the data are stored into the memory, how you can access the data. And not only one or two data, you have to think about numerous data, about numbers of data. Okay, so here comes the concept of data structure. So whenever you are dealing with numerous numbers of data, you have to think about also some procedure with the help of which you can store or access those data. Okay, and in Python those can be done with the help of the concept called list or dictionary or tuple or set. Okay, so we will start with one by one. First of all, we will start with list. So list is a type of data structure. Obviously, type of data structure means you can store data inside a list. Okay, but with comma separated value it is written also. So list is a data structure where you can store the values with comma separated values and with a square bracket like this. That means if it is a data structure, that means storing or accessing the data, obviously not only one data, collection of data. So list is a collection of data which are stored with comma separated values inside this square bracket, and all these things have a definite sequence and the index. Index means, sequence means in a proper way all the data are stored, means in a proper sequence, sequentially all the data are stored with some index. Now index is what? Indexing is the basic concept to access the data. Indexing is a concept with the help of which you can access the data, and the indexing start with 0. The first data, suppose 5, first data index is 0. Indexing is always starts from 0, and as I told that is that these are stored sequentially. So the second data, which may be 1.2 or any data, this will be in as index 1, like that, dot 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 dot. That means whenever you are declaring a list, right, you have to declare within the third bracket with comma separated values any items you can put. That may be string, that may be integer, that may be float, anything, but all these things should have to be stored in a square bracket with comma separated values. And if you want to access those things, then you have to use the concept of index, this one, which starts from 0. Okay, this is the concept of list. So we got the values, we can access the data, everything fine. But first of all, you have to create the list and you have to add some data into the list. But before that, you have to create the list. So let us move on to our Jupyter notebook so that we can directly start learning how to deal with strings. So first of all, go to your Jupyter notebook, and first of all you have to create a list. Now how to do that? So a list can be created, first of all, with two types can be created. First of all, create a list. First can be empty list. An empty list can be created with the help of, give any name with your list, suppose L1 equal to, bracket open, bracket close, done. This is an empty list. This will create an empty list. Just press shift enter, it will get an empty list. If it is an empty list, then obviously you need to add some data. Obviously you are thinking about how to add the data inside this list because it is an empty list, right? So this is the way how you can add the element. So there are many functions, for example append, insert or extends. All functions have different utility. I am showing you all these things one by one, but different functions are there with the help of which you can add element into this L1. For example, L1 is empty right now. L1 dot, I am calling, suppose append is a function, and I am passing one element, suppose 20. Now if I run this, appended, now print L1, just print your L1 and see 20 is there, one element added, only one element. Right now I have added only one element added. If you add another one, be very careful about this. Suppose I am calling this again by passing maybe my name. As I told you, list is a collection of any type of data. Okay, so suppose my name, done. Now again just print your list and see what had happened. Now 20 is already there and my name has been added after 20. So this is the definition of append. You can say that append is a function which will add element into the list at the end of the list. Always remember, it's a very important point. Append will add element into the list at the end of the list. Okay, this is how you can add element into the list. Now you can say another append, it will again add at the end maybe one float number you have added. Just print your L1, you see one by one it will be added. But maybe you thinking, array, one by one we have to add. What is the way where we can add more than one element? Okay, there is another way with the help of which you can add more than one element, but not with the help of the append. For this you have to use another function called extend, where you can add more than one element of any type, like this, integer, float, even one only character, anything, name, anything. Extend inside bracket these things. Run this and now see L1. It became a huge list because already 20 more than 2.5 was there. So this is one, and after that I have added this much of element. So these are. So extend is a function with the help of which you can add more than one element at the end of the list. Again, this is also at the end of the list. Means whatever was there, after those it will be appended. Okay, done. Now you may be thinking that no, I don't want any function which will add at the end of the list. I want some function which will add at the middle of the list. Is that possible? Yes, that's also possible. So for this another function is there. Suppose L1 dot insert. Insert is a function with the help of which you can insert any element at any position into the list. And for this you have to give the position first, then you have to give the value which you want to insert. So L1 dot insert, then you have to give the position, suppose 3. That means at the third index. Position means here you can say position or index, anything, but be very careful. I already told that the indexing starts from 0, just as in string you have seen. It's not a new thing for you. Okay, so if I am saying here 3, third position, third 3 means it is third index, remember. That means this is the 0, 1, 2, 3. That means at this position where is 12 is there, at this position another value will be inserted, that may be anything, suppose comma, maybe 100. And for this 12 will shift a room, then the 13.6 will shift another, India will shift, like that all will shifted one by one. Now if you print this, done. 100 had been inserted at particular position. What position? Third index. Okay, so these are the 3 functions with the help of which you can add elements into the list, either at the end of the list or at any position or more than one element. Okay, coming back to this particular PPT, this is the adding element. If you are adding the element, then obviously you can remove the element also. If you are adding the element, then obviously you can remove the element also. So remove element from the list is, there are many functions. For example, remove is a function, pop is a function with the help of which you can remove element from the list. And guys, have you seen one thing, have you noticed rather one thing, that whatever changes you are doing into the list, those are permanent. That means list are mutable, not like string which was immutable, because you have seen that you can't change whatever you can't add any or like that, you can't add any extra letters or alphabet into the string. We have seen already you can change anything into the string, but in list I can. It is mutable. Let me show you. Suppose L1 of, suppose 2, it is the second index position. L1 of 2 is suppose 2.5. I am writing here L1 of 2 equal to suppose 22.5. Suppose it will change. Now print your L1. Just see, there is no 2.5, rather there will be 22.5. See, this is the best example of showing you whether list is mutable or immutable, and we have find that list is mutable. Okay, now let me show you that how you can remove. As list is mutable, so you can add, you can remove, anything you can do. So if you want to remove element from the list, so also there are many functions. For example, suppose L1 dot remove is a function, but if remove is a function, you have to pass the exact element which you want to remove. For example, suppose I have passed 100, so it will remove 100 from this list. So whenever you are using remove, you have to pass the exact element which you want to remove. So done. Now print L1 and see 100 is not there. But suppose you have given some element into remove which is not there, suppose 200, which is not there obviously, into your list. So let us see what is happening. It is saying that X is not in the list. Okay, so this is the job of remove. Now there is another function which is called pop. If I call only pop, just see what it is doing. K is the last element of the string. This is your string. K is the last element. So pop will by default remove the last element from the list. Pop will by default remove the last element from the list. So if now you print L1, you will get this one. K is not there. Now this pop can also be used in another way. Pop. Suppose inside this pop I have given the index position. That can also be done. If you are not passing any argument, then it will by default delete the last element. But if you are passing any argument, that argument should be the index of the list. Suppose I have passed 1. That means it will delete my name, because the my name is at 1 index position, this one. Okay, let's see what is happening. It is removed. Yes, Moshita, it is also returning. Which one it is removed? It is also returning that removed element. If you print now L1, you will get the answer. Moshita is not there. Okay, these are different types of remove and adding concept. Now let me show you the indexing and the slicing, which you have already seen in the string. The same concept will be used here. Indexing, we have just seen that indexing means this one. Suppose 2, it will give you the second index element. This is your list. But the negative indexing is also in whatever you have seen in the string. Is it there in list? Yes, that is also there. So suppose L1 was -1, which will give you the last element, which is 45 in this situation, this one. In the same way, slicing can also be done. Suppose L1 of, suppose I have given 2:7. It will start from second index, it will goes up to sixth index. Okay, the negative indexing can also be done, or like this can also be done. Suppose 1:5:2, it will jump one element. If you remember, we have done in Spring also. So this is your list, and here I have written 1:5. It should start from one index, which is this one. It will goes up to fourth index, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, up to this. But I have given the third index as 2 also. That means it will jump one element. So first it will print 22.5, then it will print 13.5, like that. So let's just see what is happening. Yes. Okay, and for this the negative indexing can also be used. These are slicing actually. So suppose I have started from -1, I will goes up to -5, suppose, with an increment of -1. Otherwise it will not move. because I want to move in the backward direction, which I already discussed with you in the string session. Okay, so whenever you want to move in the backward direction, you have to give the -1 as the last index here whenever you are doing slicing. Done. You are now in a backward position. 45, then India, then 13.6, then 12, like that. Okay, so as whatever you have done in the string, conceptually same, only the difference is strings are immutable, lists are mutable. String can contain only the characters and list can contain any type of data. Okay, otherwise the indexing, slicing, everything can be done in the same manner whatever you have done in the string. Okay, so as in the string portions also I told you that just try by yourself, create a huge list, do something of your choice, the indexing. First of all, write down something like this and don't run the code, and just think about yourself that what may be the answer. Then run the code and see whether you are right or wrong. Okay, now coming to this slide and see what is next. Slicing of a string we have done with the help of the colon. Now some list methods are there which already we have seen. First example, we have seen append, we have seen extend, insert, remove, pop, all these things we have seen. Some more are there, let us see one by one others. Now let me show you that how you can find other functions also, other methods also. L1 dot, press tab, you will get the suggestion about, in Jupyter obviously you will get the suggestion about the methods inside the list. Like append we have used, clear I am going to use, extend we have used, insert we have used, pop used, remove used. So what are others? For example, copy obviously you can understand, clear I am showing you because you can understand from the name that if you use the clear, then it will clear the list. So I will use this at the end whenever our job is done. So before using clear, let's use others like copy. So from the name you can understood, it will copy one list into another. Same. Suppose L1 dot copy and I am storing it into L2. Now L2 and L1 will take same type of values. Just see, this is L2 and this is L1 because I am just copying same content, same. Okay, so this is copy. Next is, after copy there is a count. Okay, now count is actually counting how many times, listen very carefully, count is a function which is counting how many times one element occur into the list. Again telling you, count is actually counting how many times a particular element occurs into the list. This is what is count. Okay, suppose I am giving 20, so 20 occurs here only one times, so it will give you 1. Let me append one value which occurs maybe 2 times. Suppose I am appending 12 again. So this is your list now. This is 112 and there is another 12. Now try count. Suppose L1 dot count of suppose 12. Now it will give you 2 because 12 coming 2 times into the list. So answer will be 2. This is what is count. Okay, L1 dot, after count extend we have used index. Index is very simple. Again, from the name you can understand, it will give you the index of a particular value. For example, inside this I have written suppose India. It will giving 4. 4 means 4th index. India is at 4th index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So index is giving you the index position of a particular object. For example, anyone, suppose dot index maybe 45. Run this, 5th position. But suppose L1 dot index, inside that suppose 100, which is not there into your list, I am giving, it will give you obviously an error saying that 100 is not in the list. Okay, so L1 dot, after index, insert we have seen, pop seen, remove seen, reverse, from the name you can understand it will reverse the list. But remember, as I already told, lists are mutable. So your L1 has originally changed now. See, this is your L1. But if you remember, we copied those things. We copied this to L2 na. See L2 is a different now. because L2 you copied the previous L1 into L2 which was starting from 20, but now you reverse the thing. So your L1 is now totally reverse element, but L2 is still as it is the previous one. So this is another example of being mutable in nature. Whatever changes you are doing, the changes is permanent. Okay, now to show you the function short, there is a function called last function. All these things we have done, last one is short. Short is, let me call this here. Whenever we will call short, it will show you an error because there is a string in between all the numbers. So it is very simple that shorting means either short in the ascending order or short in the descending order. So whenever you want to show short either in the ascending or descending order, then obviously it is not possible to short whenever there is any float, any number or any string. It is not, na. Either bring it all the string or at least all the numbers, then it can short. So let me create another list, suppose with only numbers. Yeah, float or integer maybe, that does not matter at all, but only number. Like this. Now if you use L3 dot short, by default it will short in ascending order. See L3, this is ascending order by default if you are not doing anything. Now if you want to short in the descending order, then you have to pass something which is reverse equal to true. Done. Now it has been shorted in the descending order. See. So be very careful about this. All these things will be used in future whenever we are going to do some programs on list. How to short an element, how to reverse a list, how to copy a list. Now let me show you how to clear a list, one function left with only. Suppose L2 dot clear. Done. Your all the elements from L2 has been cleared out. Nothing. L2 become empty now. L1 is as it is, L3 is as it is because I have used the clear function only with L2. All okay except L2. So these are all the functions of list, all the methods, you can say methods of list. What is the difference between methods and function? I told you that methods are specifically for list only. So list method, these are specifically for list, these are, but some built-in functions are there. Those are applicable maybe to list or tuple or string or anywhere. For example, round, reduce, sum, max, mean, all these things, lang, len, all these things can be used for not only list, rather string, or maybe in future we are going to see some tuple and everywhere. For example, suppose max of L3, 100 is the maximum of L3. Maybe you want to know what is the length of your L2 list. This is the length of L2 0. Why? Because just now you cleared the L2. So length is 0. You can find the length of L1, length of L1 which is 7. Like this. These are all function. This is the, always remember, this is the difference between function and method. Methods are specifically for list. Those can only be used with the list. But functions are built-in function which can be used either with the list or with the string or with the next future whatever we are going to learn anywhere. Okay, so this is how list can be created, how some values can be added into the list, how you can remove values from the list, how you can indexing or slicing into the list, and how you can handle with the list different methods as well as different function of the list. Okay, now in our next video we are going to see some programs on list so that you can get some more clear idea about how lists are working in Python. Okay everyone, thank you so much for watching.